vibes unique, the lone wolf, who's the quiet but lurking, and always working. Welcome to episode 4 of Let's Talk, the talk show. Usually, I'm a music nerd, music junkie. But this particular podcast, I want to just talk about, issues that's bugging me personally, things that I see that's going on in the world. Certain issues that we touch. One of the biggest things that I touched on was depression. So I'm always have like an outlet or a hub. We'd be putting links down below somewhere where you can call if anybody with depression needs to, talk to somebody on the phone. Um, you know, just need somebody to listen to you. Just so people know that they're not alone, knowing that people go through problems every day. So, from time to time, or maybe at the end of every show, I'll take on the closing out to speak on it a little bit more in depth. But the first 3 episodes were the ABCs of the Big D. Gives you a lot of information on everything that's going on with, depression in the world. A little bit of statistics. A little bit of advice, things that you can do as outlets, things of that nature too. So I'm gonna be putting links down and probably in the description. Where you can probably hit a link, check those first 3 episodes out. But today, I think I'm gonna talk about how society is robbing us blind and nobody's really paying attention to it. And what I mean by this is like I'm a real software junkie. So when I first started, doing this thing, I was doing hip hop chop shop. Y'all know I do in the music, but they kind of slowed down because every time I would put something up, I was getting muted. So that's why that stopped. If y'all was wondering, so I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna bring that back without getting muted. But anyway, I use a lot of software, Pro Tools, Photoshop, things of that nature, Illustrator. And, I come from an era, where I was in the transition of watching digital, right? Like, so when I was in junior college, going to the city college and things of that nature, studying business and photography, I was right there at the time where film was going into, digital. You know what I mean? And then, Pro Tools was like one of the main standards that was like, the creme de la creme, which is still a standard right now. But now you got people making money off all these DAW systems now, and all these DAW systems upgrading themselves. But back then, it was Pro Tools, creme de la creme, and the Pepsi. There was no Pepsi at that time. Like right now, probably the Pro Tools is Coke, and Logic Pro is probably Pepsi, and then you got Ableton Live, Reasons, Fruity Loops, and you got to remember when those first came out, like Fruity Loops and Reasons, and even Ableton Live, they were just like what you want to call production systems. So you could do no recording in them. It was all strictly for music production. So that's what you got to understand. And then they evolved into being full DAW systems that you could, actually use, you know what I mean, and record, lay down tracks and albums, things of that nature, in a mix. But you can mix, but it would just be, your production and you making your beat. But anyway, with that being said, back in the day, that used to be yours though. Like you would go buy, a perpetual license, and you would actually get that license, and then I guess that, and then it became, you had to sign into your, your email, so you would make copies and give it to your friends and stuff like that. I understand that. So, so they can figure out, we're getting less money. But here's the thing, I'm gonna make a point, is once you buy something, it's supposed to be yours. So just keep that in mind. Let's just keep that in mind, right? Now, so that's how they came to all these little share sites, and then all the litigations with the music and everything. But you got to remember, once you buy something, it's supposed to be yours. Now let's just get back to so what we're saying. So for me, I started seeing it is with the software. So, Pro Tools used to go spend you $500 and you would get, the whole perpetual thing, or you had to have like an inbox, or it came with your audio interface, things of that nature, right? And then they started saying that, oh, you have to pay for an upgrade, right? Then Photoshop did the same thing. First, you used to be able to buy it, then it stopped, and then all of a sudden you had to pay for upgrade. I don't know if people really realize this. I mean, the younger crowd, this is normal for you with all the subscriptions, but like I'm telling you, we're being robbed blind because anything that you buy now, I want you to understand, is not yours. Think about that concept. When you buy something or you purchasing something offline on that or in the store, when you purchase that, that is supposed to be yours. There's no agreement nowhere where they're saying that when you purchase this item, that you are leasing this item for a period of time. See, and what I mean by this is because now, if you buy the software, now what started happening is as they started upgrading the computers, they had to start upgrading the software. Because then when you would get an update, some people would literally had to stay. I know some people who would literally stay at an older OS just so they can run their versions of Pro Tools. You don't understand that because you bought it. You spent $500. So basically, they're telling you Pro Tools, Photoshop, all these places. Oh no, you're not spending the money now. It's yours. I mean, it's not yours. You're just basically renting the software. You're renting things. It's not even yours no more. Even when you buy a perpetual license, they know that perpetual license is only going to last for, let's say, 5 updates on a computer, to where it's going to start needing an update for the software or the firmware to work on that new OS system. So I want y'all to understand we are literally being robbed blind and taken advantage of, and nobody says anything about this. And they're doing this with everything now. Everything is a subscription. Now they're trying to make us, not only are we already slaves to the system because it's the cost of living, now they're trying to make us slaves to the product, people. I want you to understand this. When I first got into computers, I built PCs. I built my own PC. You build it up, you get on it, you use it, whatever. And then at one point I converted to Mac because, PCs at that time was the only thing catching viruses. Macs that really wasn't cracking the codes, and the Macs at the time. PCs kept crashing. And people got mad at me and stopped fucking with me and shit because my computers crashed, lost their work and shit. So I got real upset at that, and that's how I really became a Mac user. But they already know that when it becomes a certain amount a year, what you're buying is obsolete. They already know when they sell you a computer. See, and let me tell you, back then you used to be able to upgrade your computer. You used to be able to buy a lower model and upgrade it yourself. Now, I don't know if PC has went all the way this route. I don't think so because it's still a personal computer. But Mac has basically stopped the ability for you to upgrade your device, knowing that at some point your device won't be able to update no more. Your RAM is eventually going to bust out on you. And although you can get external RAM, some RAM has to be put on your computer itself for the software to work. And that then used to be able to upgrade your hard drive and upgrade your internal RAM to an extent. Used to be able to get a computer at 8 gigabytes of internal RAM and be able to board it out at 32 yourself. Go buy your DDR sticks piece by piece and pop them in the peripheral slots. That's already there on your board. Now they're making the boards and the hard drives and the RAMs all the way there and making the boards not be able to take a higher rate of RAM unless you buy a bigger model. So I really want you people to understand, like, we're being robbed blind, dude. And now, even as a consumer, and nobody's doing it because they're slowly doing it. I had an iMac, dude, that I had for only 5 years. After 5 years after I had my iMac, it couldn't update no more. It would not take any more updates in a higher system. When usually it should be able to do it. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. And these computers cost bread, let's be honest. What is the cheapest, like, when you probably get, like, for a rack, $900 or something? If you get it used or something. But these motherfuckers go all the way to $3,000, $5,000 if you're trying to get it with enough RAM and speed and gigabytes and gigahertz to move fast enough for what you're doing. And especially in this world right now, everybody needs fast gigahertz. Everybody's in a video or pictures or graphics. It's going to be the norm to have 3.6 or 4 point something gigahertz. That's going to be an average in a minute because we all need something fast. So everybody's online, the computer, everybody's recording, everybody's doing something. Right? But now they're trying to make us slaves to the product. So us as consumers, we need to start speaking on that and saying something on that. Because we are becoming slaves to the products. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of money that they're getting off of people, especially the people who've been using this for over a decade. But I'm gonna tell you, when I got Pro Tools, when I first got Pro Tools, dude, Pro Tools came with that's how I learned about Reasons 5 and Ableton Live, because they all had a cross promotions with Pro Tools. So when you got an inbox, it came with IK, what was it? IK Media, Lounge Lizard, Reasons 5, Ableton Live. You know, mind you, it only came with 8 tracks. It was like, I think it was like 8, but it was to show you how to use it and do the production. And it came with Reasons. And back then, you used to have to rewire Reasons to make beats per se in Pro Tools. Everybody said you can't make beats in Pro Tools, but you can. Just like you do everything else. You just have a Vista VST instrument and play it and do it just like anything else, right? But the whole thing is, it came with plugins already. It came with instruments. It came with plugins. It came with telling you, this era y'all got so ripped off of Pro Tools, it's ridiculous. Because Pro Tools came with a whole bundle. So that's why I don't understand why they could see who had accounts for these decades and almost 15 to 20 years. And then you still have these people that have been having these perpetual licenses for so long. All of a sudden you tell them, oh, now you got to start paying for a monthly upgrade. Like, I want y'all to understand, dude, these people are ripping us off. Because which means is, if this is your hobby, you're going to be paying that for the rest of your life. And then even if you get paid off of it, it's like, okay, well, even in business, when we buy tools, we purchase equipment, we purchase software, we purchase tools. And if we purchase the software, it's like you damn near you should be having a 24-hour customer service rep and people hopping online doing way more than what they're doing, instead of just giving you an update and telling you that you have to pay for the update every time it updates. Think about it. They're making you pay for something that their software is becoming obsolete, and then they're making you pay for it to work with the new technology. That's basically what you're paying for it to work with the new Mac or the new PC, which really shouldn't be your problem. It should be their problem. Again, with these video, again, let's go to the video games. We're getting ripped off. Like I like video games, and I like shit like Madden. But if y'all realize, all these sports games ripping you off every year, they make you throw away the money that you spent the year before to get the next game, and it don't even last for longer than a year. And they make you buy these, you collect these little cards and buy these little packs all year and everything to build your squad and to build your team. And then right when you get your team to the pinnacle, it doesn't matter, because then they flood it, and then they bring a new game in, and then they stop making content for your game within a year. Like, what game out there that you know besides these sports games now, like basketball, football, whatever, that ever just your game is only worth a year? You spend your money, you play it, and then the next year it comes out. Really, you can do an update that just update the software and the players. Think about that. Because the game really doesn't change. The fucking game is the same. You only get quicker, or whatever, with the 4K, the 8K, right? So really, that's just a firmware update, upload. You can buy the game one time, and then you can basically pay for an update instead of you rebuying the game over and over again. But yet you buy the game, you play it for a year, and then it's obsolete. Unless if you just want to have it for your friends, and then y'all just want to play for head to head. But everybody knows that the moneymaker is Madden, Ultimate Team. So I want y'all to understand that, dude. Like, we're getting ripped off of things that we buy and we purchase. It's not like it used to be. But they telling you that you're buying something. I want you to understand, people, we're not buying. When we're buying things right now, we're not owning them. And it's going further and further and further. Everybody's making you pay a subscription. Everybody's starting to make you pay. Like, dude, don't you understand that means your subscription is for your lifetime? Don't you understand that? Like, when you go to the store and you purchase something, you used to purchase music. You purchase this, you purchase that. But now they've put you on, like, it's like you're on a 30, 50-year loan, and you're paying all this shit off, and you're never going to own it. You're never going to own it. And then if you constantly use it as a tool, at some point you got to have it, because, oh, well, see, now you can't do what you want to do because we knew that update was going to stop it from working. So I want you guys to understand, dude, we are slaves. They're trying to make us more of a slave. Now a slave to products. And it's crazy. Like, they did it right in front of our faces, and nobody says anything. Like, it's simple. It's right there in front of our faces, and they just keep doing it, adding on, and nobody says anything. So what are we purchasing? You're not purchasing anything. And if you want it, and if you use it, and if you use it as a daily thing, you're going to have to pay for it. It's monthly service. Now, we can see things. I understand things like gyms of that nature. If you don't want to have a gym at home, you're paying the use of a club and stuff like that. That's different. And you know what you're getting. But now your people say, "Oh, we know what you're getting." No, but you don't give us no choice. See, because this era doesn't even know that. At one point, all this was given to you when you purchased it. But the industry got greedy. It's like, oh, well, we've been giving this thing away as a whole this whole time. They took the whole and cut it into slices. They're selling you a whole pizza in slices just so you can have some type of understanding of what's going on right now in the industry. Like they already had it whole. Like all that was a bundle. Just like the Wave Diamonds bundle. Now, that kind of worked in your favor if you're audio engineer, because now they broke it down. Those bundles used to cost like $3,000, $5,000 for those mastering plugins. Now you can go buy them on a sale for like 50 or $30. That's why people were going around with PCs and getting the cracked versions of them, because dude, they were charging an arm and a leg. But since people got to started doing these share sites, then it was like, okay, well, we got to cut it down. And they brought that shit down to where they would make it affordable. But then they still started doing what? Charging you for upgrades. Like even right now, you can go get these plugins from them, but at some point they stop updating. Which they really don't even explain to you when you purchase that. Which is really illegal, because anything that stipulates or changes after you purchase it is supposed to be stipulated at the beginning of your purchase. Now they might try to say, "Oh, well, you're supposed to read that in the description of the words or in a contract," but a lot of them don't even have a contract. If it's not nothing to sign, you're just purchasing something. But then there's laws though for purchasees or purchasers or whatever. Buyer laws. And like I said, we just let them do whatever they want. The store right now, like people are going, "Oh, it's not inflation bullshit, dude," because I do shopping. Like I'm a man that goes shopping, and I watch what I buy. At one point, I don't know if y'all even know, I just use something simple like Minute Maid juice. Minute Maid juice was $1.25 at Walmart. At one point, $1.25 a carton. Then I think it went up to like $1.50, like $1.48. So we'll say $1.50, right? And then it's actually $2.50. So right now it doubled, $2.49. Now how does something inflate? Not 10, but 20%, not 30%. But that's 100% inflation because it doubled within a year's time, year and a half. The eggs that I buy, I go buy the little flat crate. It was like $10. That went up $3. Now it's like 13. We already know about the meat. So I just want you people to understand that we're letting things happen. When I was saying it, but we're quick to talk about P. Diddy, somebody's hair, the next best singer, rapper group. Like I like music, I like all that shit too. I like cars, I like a good time, I like a view, but I also like the truth. I like my life, and I like to be treated fair, and I try to treat others fair. I'll give common courtesy, right? But I don't like being ripped off, and I don't like being lied to, and people be being ripped off, being lied to all at the same time. And when y'all are this, you tell me, and y'all make comments too, and you tell me other things that you guys notice that we out here double paying on and becoming a slave to the product. We're already slaves to the system. It's already cost of living. And I want to make y'all understand it. It's a cost of living, right, that you pay. Right? This is supposedly a God-fearing country. Right? No matter what, dialect, ethnicity that you are, or, to follow, believe, a higher purpose, right? They all say that creation was created here for man. How are we being charged for what was put here for us? You should understand that. Everything in this world is already here for man to survive on. So at some point, that's why they dumbed us down to depend on the system. Because we used to hunt, used to be carpenters, used to know about horticulture, agriculture, natural medicines. You understand that? But they dumbed us down to where we only have to go, oh, you go learn this one trade. So you go learn one trade, so he has to depend on you for that, and you have to depend on him for this. And that's how we gonna build our society. You don't have to grow your livestock. We gonna go get the meat for you. You cut it up and everything, and you just come into the store and buy it. So we can invent capitalism and make this system to make you a slave to the system. Right? And then, or you got to admit to population control, right? Because you say, oh, it's too many people for y'all to be out there hunting. Why? Because then you would have to admit to the population control. So I just want y'all to think about that. That's why I pause after everything that I say, because I want you to really listen and think about the things that I'm telling you. And you can say it's a nice way to look at it, but it's the truth. I'm 47 years old. I've actually been from the beginning to the end of hip hop, the transition of society using computers. I come from a point to where we used to have to wait a week to go to the computer room for our day, stand in line and go play Carmen Sandiego, Hotel Transylvania, and Oregon Trail. Like, I've literally can say that I've seen the whole transition of computers, and even walked the documentaries when they had the computers in the 50s, 60s, and it took up the whole room just to do what our phones can do. Now everybody's walking around with a computer in their pocket. Knowledge and questions answered instantaneously. You understand that? So I've watched information change like that. I come from when there was a rotary phone and pay phones, and then beepers, then cell phones. Even though the military had cell phones on the war field already, big brick phones, then they let us have them. Like, so I've been around for this whole technology thing. You know? So, and I hate to date myself, but yeah, like, I can't believe it. I'm almost 50 my damn self. You know? But it's a blessing to get old. Don't get upset. Especially if you a black Afro American. It's a blessing. You know, embrace it. We just gotta stay healthy and age like wine. But, you know, we have to talk about this, man. Somebody has to talk about this and make y'all think about this, and then y'all tell me what y'all think we should do as a people. Because that's why I said that this is called Let's Talk, because it's like, let's talk. You know, I'm gonna figure out a way how I can do it live and do the streaming, so I can, probably, have people talk and give me get some live views to go in. But we gotta, do something. We gotta not just talk about it, but you know, put certain things in action. And as us being consumers, we have power, right? You should have understood that when the corona went down. Consumers, we had so much power by it being shut down. The government had to give us money back to keep it going, to stimulate. That's why you get the stimulus, to stimulate the economy back. Just give them money so they can go back out here and spend it. And that's another reason why it's inflation right now, because all this money is going around here. So, you might want to invest in gold and digital cryptos and things like that. But we can talk about that on some other time. But that's what a stimulus was, to stimulate the economy. It really was what the helping the people. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. But really, it's to stimulate the economy for us so we don't be bankrupt as an economy and go back to the Middle Ages and somebody try to come and attack us or something at this time. But it was good that the whole world at that time was down. I want y'all to understand that. Remember, y'all just got to remember, we just had to go get our loan extended that we had with China. So, let's realize what's going on. Like I said, we're being ripped off in front of our faces, and like I said, it's a million other things I know that I heard doing. Like I said, the bridge, the toll, like they keep raising the toll. Do you know how many people go across the bridge? I'm in the Greater Barrier. I don't know where you guys from, but we're in the Greater Barrier. I'm in Vallejo. I'm like in the artery where you can go to anywhere, like to Sacramento, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Concord, or whatever. But it's a bridge going towards, Concord Way and Oakland. You have the Richmond Bridge, the Bay Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Benicia Bridge, right? And I want you to understand, like, millions of people go across this every day. Like, I'm talking about millions, especially in high traffic time in areas and people just traveling. And they keep raising, acting like they get money. Do you know the money that they get, dude, on these bridge tolls? And now it's just automatic, right? It took away people's jobs, ripped off again, right in front of our faces, people not realizing. That's what COVID taught a lot of people. Oh, we don't need people at all for this job. We can automate this. Right? You can go to Walmart right now, especially in our town. We got a neighborhood Walmart. They got probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cashiers, and the rest is self-automated. And they all will only have like 1 or 2 actual person lines open. And the rest is self-automation. I want y'all to pay attention, people. Those are jobs gone. Now, mind you, they didn't pay, the best jobs, but there's still jobs that some people get. High school, people, dude that just got out of jail trying to change his life back around, or a female, or you know what I'm saying? You just got laid off and you got to go pick up a gig. You feel what I'm saying? It's like in a minute, people, you're not going to be able to do nothing unless you know how to be a tech, work on the machine that's taking your job, or some special trade. Think about that. Like I said, dude, they're ripping us off in those faces. Right now, you guys can go Google. I want you to go Google this. And this has been out since, I believe, I want to say 2018, 19. Right? And I just saw my first commercial for it on YouTube 2 weeks ago. Pretty soon, y'all, even though they raised this minimum wage for people who work in fast food, was to $20 an hour. Right? They just raised it to $20 an hour. They got a robot that's coming in and taking the jobs to cook the burgers and fries. So really, they're just gonna have somebody there to prep the food and place it to assist the robot. And they're probably only need 1 person or 2 people at the most to prep the food, because they have them in the cart. And you can go look at this, dude. It's called Rob Fry, or the Fry. Just type in Fry Robot. And they said they can install it in a day. That means you can leave your job tonight and come back tomorrow and be locked out. Now, I see something about an article. I don't know if that article was real. They were saying that Amazon, but I know Amazon was using robots. But I believe at one of these locations. So listen, matter of fact, I'm sitting right in front of here. That one of these locations that supposedly Amazon has already tried using these robots at one of their facilities to use the robots, and supposedly they replaced. Oh, here we go. Right. So I just Googled this right now. I want y'all to listen. So I just put in, did Amazon fire people and replace them with robots? Right? So it's an article, and it says, yes, Amazon had reportedly replaced 100,000 humans with 750,000 robots. Yes, Amazon is testing Digit, a robot created by Agility Robotics for warehouse work. Amazon denies that it's envision a future where humans don't work in its fulfillment and centers. So go Google this. Like we're being ripped off in front of our faces. At first they making the slaves to a product. Now they're ripping us off of our jobs with robots. I want you people to really understand this, man. Like I said, you can go Google this. And it's just crazy. I've walked into Walmart myself, and I've asked people, and it's funny when you ask people, have you seen the robots in Walmart? And they'll be like, nah, man, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, you can walk in Walmart, dude, and you'll see them. Because they don't look like people. They look like something like a RDD2, and it'll just be moving down the aisle by itself. It'll go down aisles, count stuff. I've actually seen it have something and put it back. Like I was telling people, and this was like, shit, maybe almost 10 years ago. We'll say 5 or 6. The first time I seen it. Say 5. We'll say 5. First time I seen it. Actually in the store. You know what I mean? Actually in the store. You know, they were talking about it all before then, even like with these smart houses, smart refrigerators, iRobot. Like I read about and seen iRobot do in the 12th grade. I took independent study. Everybody thought I dropped out, but I was actually in an independent study. And my dean was a teacher, and I had to read these Science Scholastic magazines for science. And in that book, they had the self-driving car, which is driving around San Francisco right now. It was in a Jeep, and it was practicing with it in the desert. The iRobot, now they got one doing people's lawns, your living room, your pool, the refrigerator, the smart refrigerator where you hit it when it goes on iPhone. That was in the book. The smart house, which is actually Google and Alexa, turn off the lights, turn on the lights, they work your cameras, all that, dude, was I read 20 years ago. And now, since we're getting technical, they're starting to let things come out faster. But all these things, I'm telling you, dude, they were already telling us about them. But at the time, we were more like, ooh, yeah, look at this new toy. Not thinking that, ooh, yeah, this just took my job. Or this just took somebody else's job. Or this just made this obsolete. Now that company is gone, right? For instance, pagers are gone, tapes are gone, CDs are gone, right? Unless you're programming something needed for some specific device, it's obsolete, right? Now they're trying to even make hardware devices gone, but that ain't gonna never happen because we still want that backup that we can have in our hand. But now you got a cloud, and you definitely will become a slave to that product, right? Because now all my backup and all my memories on it. So I want to show you how they're making the slaves to products and then how they're ripping those off. Because like I said, you got to take it from the software to the things that they do in reality. To show you how they're trying to oppress us. I'm just trying to put a little awareness in the world. Like wake up. Like we all gotta wake up. I had to wake myself up. And I was like, man, I see this. I might as well say something about it. If I keep it to myself, I'm a lone wolf. Can't do nothing by myself. So, I gotta share what I see with my third eye. Right? Men sharpen men, still sharpen steel. It's the way of the world. Each one teach one. Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. And that's the real way it should be. That is the real Elohim, not a many but one. And that's what the world really is. But we can talk about that later. But we're going to get back on this, us being ripped off. Because we being ripped off. And nobody see it. Nobody protesting. Right now, we see in the beginning of Terminator, The Matrix. What other sci-fi movie you wanna talk about? Right? This goes back to the very first story that we all read in elementary, John Henry, when they were working on the railroad train and he had to go against a robot supposedly that could dig the tunnel faster than men. Y'all not paying attention. I told you when these video games, we don't even realize these video games, AI, when PlayStation first came out, and it came to, I think it was the 2 or the 3 or whatever, and then when it first started using AI and it started saying AI, we have been teaching an AI brain since then. When I first got it, and I remember I turned it on, I plugged that shit in, it asked me for permission if a college could watch and listen. I don't know, I shouldn't say listen, collect my data and collect my data, whatever the fuck that meant. Excuse my friends. So of course I said no, but who's to say that they didn't still do it anyway? Right? But I always thought that was a trick because I'm saying, wow, something's already connected to this shit. Something is already connected to this game. Watch me. That's how long they've been watching us play these games. People thinking it's games, but what do you think this algorithm is? That's a search engine optimization, algorithms, cookies. Those have been AI programs watching and working slowly but surely in how we think and what we pick and what each individual likes, and then categorizing us as statistics. Right? So I'm just saying we have the power. Like democracy is supposed to be power for the people. The right fist was actually power for the people, not just black people. It was for power to the people. And when you watch the documentaries and you see them say that, they don't just say power to black people, they say power to people. Because power is to the people. That's what democracy is, power to the people. Which we can get another one talk about on politics next too. But I'm just showing you how everything correlates and runs into each other. Because the politicians are letting them rip us off. Right? But that's why it's a law, right? Because it's capitalism. That's the game. Somebody has to point it out and bring it up. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to point stuff out, and then let's see what we can make happen. That's why I say let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let's rap. That's what the OGs used to say when I was growing up. Let me rap to you. That means let me talk to you. Right? But we got to stay woke. We got to wake up, man. We're being ripped off. They're trying to make us slaves to products. We're already slaves to the system because we all got to work for the money because this is the system that we're in. Now they're trying to make us slaves to a product. We purchase something, now it's not ours. Now you're leasing it, you're renting it, and now you're going to basically pay on it to the day that you die. Think about how much money that they're making. Again, with the bridge, they keep raising up. Oh, we're doing the taxes. Oh, we need all this money. Dude, you're making a killing off these bridge tolls. Talk about passive income. So think about that. Right now we're like one of the only countries that don't really protest when the government is really foul. Like you look over North Korea, China, all these other countries, even in London, like they'll really do real protests. Not just when, even though I like how we be coming together lately. When people are basically seeing, discrimination, flat out racism, and people being done wrong. Period. At this time, but some uses it as a spectacle and a way to increase their how would we say presence or look to society instead of really caring about it. They're using it as a campaign or a promotion. You have to watch out for those people. Those are the true snakes in grass, right? But we're even being ripped of our democracy right now. Like people, we think our votes matter, but really, it's only they're only really counting so-called up. Really, they say they count everyone's, but they don't. Think about it. Even when we get the candidates, right? In the end, it's who the Republican Party promotes and who the Democratic Party promotes the most. And then those people run. We don't even pick to say who's going to run. They pick who's going to run and who they're going to sponsor and who they're going to have run as their front runner. And then we pick them. And then they go get votes off of statistics. Oh, well, if I use this in my campaign, we'll get this many votes. If I use this in my campaign, I get this many votes. Not necessarily even caring about the views. It's all about if I use this in my campaign, I will statistically get these many votes. I used to work for a political research firm, so I know it's a fact. Now, all politicians may not hire one, but that's what they do. Depending on too what area. That's why they always flip flop it. One year, oh, I'm against abortion. Next year, oh, I'm for pro rights. Next year, oh, I'm not with gambling. The year next, oh yeah, you can gamble and you can do this and yada 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 yada. Right? It's votes. Like I said, I think in the next show I'm gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about comma. But right now, I want y'all to understand we're getting ripped off, people. We're getting ripped off. Right in front of our faces. Right in front of our faces, right? Oh, democracy again, like Trump, right? And again, like I said, this is not really talking about politics. This is about how we're being ripped off for democracy. We've just seen somebody you found guilty of 30 felonies. Now, I was never no angel. Like in my young years, I've been in trouble. I went to jail. But 30 felonies? Y'all got to remember, I come from an era when you got 3 felonies. That was 25 with an L. They just showed you that having money in America, you can do whatever you want. If you got enough money in America and you get somewhere, whatever you do, it's okay. That's really the message that they're showing. But they're not going to tell you that they're doing that, but that's the message that they're showing. 30 felonies. Then they want to tell you, oh, well, the president, he's what is it, expedited or whatever the term that they use. Oh, this shit it's obsolete. It doesn't matter. Really? So then that means you can do whatever you want. I thought he was working for the people, not a king, right? But y'all don't understand this. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, not 10. 10 times 3. And some of these was before he was even in office. How do you exonerate somebody saying that if he's a president, he don't get in trouble for what he do in office? And some of this shit he did, he wasn't even president yet. Listen. Right? And then the president, they make him not run. He too old, so now they show the people, oh, well, there is a point to where the old you get, you got to sit your ass down. Okay, so why didn't you let the people vote on who they wanted to run? Not to put anything against it. Yeah, like I said, just showing you how we get stripped of our rights as supposed to be power to the people. As a democracy, the people are supposed to put people in office. But it looks like the people who we have governing in us are the people who puts people in office. I want you to understand that. But it's supposed to be us voting on it. It's like you're supposed to vote on your mayor and vote on your city council. Right? So, but like I said, that's what we're going to talk about on the next show. But I just can't believe that we getting ripped off and people don't understand it. Ain't saying nothing. Like things like Costco, again, things like the gym, the club member, those are different. And then they go from time to time, and even those are going up but Costco just raised theirs up like every 5 years, so that's kind of reasonable. Right? But just pay attention. Right? What good is it if you get a raise to $20 an hour and they say, fuck it, we didn't gave everybody raised $20 an hour, now we're going to raise all the food up $3 to $5. That puts you right back at making your $14 or $15 an hour because now that extra money that you making is going back to the increase in product. I want y'all to understand that. That raise that you get don't mean shit if everything else goes up in price in society. They just basically put you right back at you was at because they knew they was about to raise everything. They got everybody running out here investing in cash, and in a minute, cash is about to be nothing. That's why you guys think they telling you to invest in gold again. Digital currency is inevitable. Y'all don't even understand. We've already been using digital currency. Think about it. If you ain't a person who does business in strictly cash or D-boy are out here, like I said, swindling, dealing in cash, and now even the street vendors have Square and a swipe. Now you just tap, swipe, and either your bank account increases or decreases. That's digital money, baby. Never see any paper. Touch it on your card. Bank account increases, decreases. We've been using digital money. So we all got to be on our P's and Q's, especially as middle age, trying to get this nest egg going. Get involved and dig deep into this online and this internet and this technology. Because that's all it's going to be. If you're not fixing the machine, you're not going to have a gig pretty soon. If you don't have no special trade or fixing the machine that took somebody's job, you're going to be obsolete. Right? Like I said, unless you got some special, like I said, special training. Because there's some things that the computer just can't do. They'll try to say it can, but it can't relate. Like how we're doing, we're relating, we're talking about life. Because we have feelings and we've been through this life, we have programs, we program it differently. So people, wake up, be aware that you're getting ripped off and you're about to get ripped off more. Pay attention that we've been made slaves to our products that we used to buy and call home. Now, when you buy something, it's not yours anymore. You're leasing things to the day that you die, basically. Understand that. Understand these Alexas and Googles and Watsons have been AI brains we've been teaching from the gate, and now there are multiples because everybody's competing against each other. So it ain't just one. It's multiple artificial brains being created around here. And now taking creators' jobs. You ain't even got to learn how to make music. You ain't even gotta know how to sample. We break using the stems. We finding chords for you. We building it the beat for you. Now we'll write your lyrics. Like, come on, man, you taking the art away. The real art. The real creation help evolve the human mind. Because it's more than just the music, it's the soul that's put in the music, the essence that's put in the artwork. It's something they would never be able to do. Alright? But again, I want y'all to stay awake. I want y'all to stay aware, man. It's your boy Vaj Unique the Lone Wolf, Mr. Quiet but Lurking and Always Working, Mr. Beta Lake the Never himself. Remember, if you have any mental issues, any problems, think you're alone out there in the world, don't kill yourself. Go out there and talk to somebody. Don't go out there and hurt yourself, because if you hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, you just ruin your life. Think about it. Think about you trying to kill yourself and then you paralyze yourself. You don't die, you paralyze, you just made your life worse. Right? So just remember, shit gets bad, but every day that you wake up, you got a chance to make it different. When you're dead, you ain't got a chance to change shit. Right? So remember that. But I want y'all to be aware, of your mental state and your mental mind. Your gang 800 numbers you can find online in the phone book. I'm pretty sure there are counselors in each town and neighborhood. Like I said, use this technology that's out here. It's a fingertip away. And then the people who are out there looking for help, talking about there's no help, there is help. You just have to be willing to change. Sometimes it ain't help that you want, but it's the help that you need. Remember that. So Vaj Unique, man, the Lone Wolf was quiet but lurking, but always working. Stay aware. And, give me some comments, man. Let me know what you think that when you still get ripped off of products and ideas and comments, let me know. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But even if you don't, just listen to me and collaborate. Hopefully I inspire you, because I'm definitely going to talk about some real things, real issues. Like I said, let me know, give me some ideas of what you think.